The Blanco City Council to order on March the 31st, 2020 at 6:17 p.m. We apologize for the lateness of it. And I will do a roll call. Mayor Pro Tem Salcedo.
Here.
Councilmember Vella.
Here.
Councilmember Lewis.
Present.
Councilmember McClellan is absent but on his way. Councilmember Gosnell. Here. Thank you. Would you join me for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America
and
to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order, and I will yield just a couple of moments of my mayor's comments to Councilmember Lewis. Please go ahead.
Yes, Madam Mayor. I did want to make a couple comments before we get started. And one of them is in regards to an issue out on Chimney Valley Road, which is out of the city limits. But a well has been contaminated by the drilling. They punched through into some cars, and the drilling fluid leaks and has contaminated some wells. So I'm going to urge that our, on the county level, that they go ahead and enact a shelter-in-place order and specifically name Kinder Morgan as a business that is non-essential and have them cease operation during the pandemic. Because what we can have is people who are at home and then all of a sudden they're out of water. Water is important to all of us. Water is important to life, and we can't be compromising families right now with reckless behavior on behalf of Kinder Morgan. So I call on Judge Gray and all of the county commissioners to enact a shelter-in-place rule for the county.
Thank you very much. All right, I'm going to do a COVID update. For anyone that is following the news, the updates are constant and coming out fast and furious. The governor issued an order this afternoon that will close the schools until May the 4th. I also received an update that the Census Bureau is going to halt their census taking, where they do it out in the public, until April the 15th, 2020. Have an update from the county. This is designed by the North Blanco County EMS, and they have a COVID-19 hotline for anyone that needs to call with questions, needing advice. Calls will be routed to persons or they receive information or services to assist the callers in need. As of March 30th, there have been 15 infectious disease response calls, of which 5 resulted in positive screening in Blanco County. Those patients have been referred to their medical provider. And a STAR request has been entered for COVID-19 test kits for use in Blanco County. The city of Blanco is following the guidelines of the county. We have also done our emergency proclamation and our resolution. Our staff is currently working in shifts, going from home and working at home and then coming into the office. We cannot stress the importance of doing your best to stay home and stay safe. No one is immune to this, and we do not know how long this is going to last, but we've got to try to do the most that we can. We will have a conference call with the county tomorrow, and with the next action the county might take, the city of Blanco will follow it. And I spoke with Mayor Steele today in Johnson City, and she stated the same, that they're waiting to hear what the next step will be for the county. The town is pretty much empty, and we're seeing that, but as the weather gets nice, people are getting tired of being inside and want to come out. Please be safe. There's no other way to put it. You're hearing of different situations where people that you would not think would come down with it, and they are. I think that we're trying to get everybody here in Blanco that's being very, they're hearing this and they're following it, and we're just doing everything that we can. That's the update. All right. Any discussion by council on COVID?
I have an observation. Last weekend, the park basically shut down. And that stretch on River Run, down where it gets down by the river, there must have been somewhere between 10 and 15 cars down there. Kids in large groups playing in the water. It's gonna get worse next weekend if the weekend is nice. Just like it did after the flood in the park was closed. So I don't know what can be done about it. It's county/park.
It's got,
jurisdiction.
it is got-
Not ours, but it could become a problem.
So one thing that the mayor of Johnson City had shared with me was that they have shut down their park there in Johnson City. And it might be something that we might have to look at here for Bensall Park. It's a little bit harder to do now. Blanco State Park has also, they're not taking in any new day visitors, and they have their entrance as you try to go to it, that is closed off, and the gate that's down at the Bensall Park is also closed off. It is not to keep people from enjoying the park, it's to keep everybody safe from this wicked disease. When we hear more tomorrow, we might have to go ahead and make a further decision about that. Our trash collections in Blanco, they have emailed us that they are being much more diligent about what they're actually picking up. They have their staff that's wearing protective gear, and they're being particularly careful. I spoke with Chief Ritchie and trying to make sure that our PD officers are being very careful on the calls that they're making. Another issue that has come up is that, and we did this for March and April when we have waived no shut-offs of water, because water, as Mr. Lewis said, is essential. Utilities across the country are doing this, and we're just going to take it day by day and see how we go. So far, everybody in Blanco has been very well about doing their best to pay on time, but we also know there's a lot of people that are coming out of work, and this is going to put a hardship on a lot of people. So we're trying to be as cognizant of that and as caring as we can from the city endpoint. Our utility workers, we have to stop and be aware of what they're doing, working with the wastewater. We've had issues from TCEQ that have come out saying that people are going to become more, we don't have enough paper towels, they might be throwing paper towels and wipes in there because they're using so many Clorox wipes. Well, those are going to do one thing to the wastewater system, they're going to plug it up. So please do not put those down your disposable toilets that they go down into, please throw them into the trash. It's just a way of being very conscious and thoughtful about what you're doing. Here in the chamber right now, we're sitting definitely within the social distancing aspect of it so that we can be safe. Anybody else?
Yeah, I have several things, Mayor. I'll go on.
This is discussion, okay?
Okay, so, over the past week or so, I've been monitoring some of the stores in town to make sure that they're using best practices to prevent the spread of this disease. So, I've been working with our code enforcement person, Will, who's been drafting up some stuff that you may have already looked at, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. I have also spoken with Representative Aaron Sweener and the mayor of the city of Kyle and looked at what their best practices are. We have some businesses in the city of Blanco that need improvement in the way they're dealing with sanitization to keep everyone healthy. In my opinion, we need to look to HEB. HEB has been a leader since day one on this, and they're doing an excellent job. And if you look at the way HEB is handling things, they're doing an excellent job. So what I found is at two of our local stores, I visited twice, once last week and again today. At the entrance, there is no station for people to sanitize their cars. I went inside and saw that there was also no hand sanitizer at the counter. I talked to the store manager, and she said, and all they really had was a can of Lysol tucked behind the register. And I told them that we were going to be coming out with some new guidelines that we really need to apply for health and safety reasons, which are obvious. So I'm going to go ahead and make some additional recommendations to what we already have here. And this is according to the city of Kyle. They did this on some big box stores. So there needs to be, at the minimum, a station for people to wipe down cards themselves. The city of Kyle requires that there be an attendant to help assist customers with that, whether it's opening the door, wiping their car for them. But we need to make sure multiple people aren't touching cards and different contact areas, because that's all it would take is one infected person to come in, use that card, and then somebody else come in, take that home to their family. So we have to up our game here. And so in addition to recommending that we just have a self-serve sanitization area that they have an attendant up the door. Some of the things that Will did put in here is have one entrance and one exit so people aren't coming past each other. Another thing is to have one-way aisles in the store so that people aren't passing each other and they get a little more social distancing. Let's see, I think that was all I had for this second that I could think of. I know that the city of Kyle and the big box stores are actually just called like sneeze guards at the checkout. I don't know if we need to go that far currently. And I think the other thing that I want to recommend is that we do go ahead and go to a shelter in place for the city of Blank. I think we need to lead the way. I think looking to others like the county and the state hasn't served us well enough, and we need to be the ones that are proactive and ensure the safety of our citizens, even when others are reluctant to do so. So, having said that, I'm going to move forward.
Anybody else in the council? All right, all of these have been duly noted, and we thank you for the recommendations of both Councilman Bruce and our code compliance officer, Bill Davis. And one thing that we have working for us is that we can have very quick emergency meeting and get these things done and in place. I think that after tomorrow, we might see quite a few changes. All right, that's the COVID update. And the next thing on our business item is to have a water rate discussion, and I will have a discussion on that. Go ahead, please.
Okay, in tomorrow's paper, there'll be an article. Sometimes they have to change it up a little bit. But I sent him the work is what for to be in the paper. So,
Now,
people
this
call
one
me.
turned into the paper,
This is what was turned in.
and they're supposed to print this.
They said it could be in tomorrow's issue.
Okay, thank you.
So, sometimes he changes it up a little bit. Corrects things or spelling or what. So if anybody is contacting you, asking questions, it will be on this article. The information.
Okay, and who wrote this?
I-
Okay,
So that, and then this is something Will generated.
We
Will printed it out.
I printed it out.
And it does give, not exact figures, but approximate
Well,
increases and such. We have already passed the garbage rate increase. It just hasn't been implemented on anybody's bill.
fine.
They haven't done it yet.
Initially, we had a 2% on residential, and then we did not have the commercial and roll-off information. Then when we came back, we approved the commercial and roll-off information, and it has not been implemented because a lot of things started. That was just 2 weeks ago, and so we've been kind of a different world since then.
So the residential didn't go, nothing went up. So it should, maybe billing after next.
Next billing cycle.
It takes, not for April still, but for May still.
Now, when are you thinking of putting the water rates into place?
Well, we can't do it until after we've had the public hearing.
Two,
We have the two public hearings.
Right.
Right.
So that's May for a vote,
And do they have to be a month apart, the public hearings?
no, 2 weeks.
but
Okay,
so far.
Right.
Good.
Our next regular meeting will be April 14th. I think the council needs to consider that, without a doubt, we know we talked about this at length, that the water rates are going to have to go up. We must also consider the time that we're in right now, so the idea is just to go into May and give the new council, the two new members coming on, a chance to also get into this, might help, and so that we don't overburden the residents.
But the water rates for residents, unless they use more than 5,000 gallons a month, isn't gonna go up. They have to use more than 5,000 gallons a month before they'll see an increase in their rate. For residents, now, commercial, we broke commercial down into low usage. Those that use less than 2,000 gallons a month, they won't see any change in their rate either. High commercial, which would be like the laundromat, restaurants that do a lot of dishwashing and that sort of thing, the car wash, their rates will go up.
Really, I would be under a different, that's industrial.
Yeah.
And it's got, they'll have separate permits for both water and sewer, sorry.
And then industrial, which I think there was 5 businesses that we defined as industrial. Their rates will go up across the board.
Based on usage, just as all.
And that's where real oil comes in.
No,
No,
real oil is a whole total section.
Real Brewing, being our biggest water user, and they're the only ones in town with industrial waste program. So that kind of puts them into a special place to where we can do the same type of thing with their water.
Their rates will go up, and it'll be on a 5-year, maybe, I don't know, we haven't decided, possibly a 5-year contract for both water and sewer, because they have to have special permits for both the high usage of water and the high usage of sewer. So they have different issues than normal.
Yeah. And the other thing
And special
is that
Right, so if you look on, so we,
But the industrial part is continues.
right, but
Yeah.
it would be for things like, the cheese factory when it opens. That place that we making motorcycle parts that they are actually.
well, you know, they actually seem to be working on stuff there now and again.
Yeah, so they would be considered industrial, Cox paving, the
concrete plant,
DNH, that's right, it's Cox paving.
This is gonna go into the paper
Tomorrow.
right now. That would be a public hearing for April 14th.
That's already been.
Okay, so all I'm trying to get at is that we've got to consider, if we're still in these circumstances, which we could be, giving people an opportunity to have a chance to make a comment. And right now it's 10 and under here, and so they could do it online, if I'm not mistaken.
they can do it online, the post goes out on the agenda of how they want to get signed up to comment, make a comment one way or another. And before we do that public hearing, we'll open up a window between 5:30 and 6 that they need to sign up for, and they can get in line to speak, and then we'll address each one of them.
One at a time. and then-
One at a time, and they'll be right there on the screen.
The other thing is that we exempted public schools, churches,
501c3s,
501(c)(2), and health facilities. For any inmates, they're the same.
if you look at the second page, it breaks out how they break out. So residential, commercial, multifamily, exempt situations, and special conditions. Special conditions would be those that have special permit requirements.
I had a question, Ronnie.
Yes, ma'am.
The park, how do we deal with the park and water and sewer?
The state park,
Uh-huh.
currently everybody's utilizing the residential rate,
Right.
but it would be, I
Commercial?
guess, dependent on most likely commercial, the way they fall into the classification definitions that we had adopted, or you had adopted as council, most likely they fall under commercial.
Or would you consider them a nonprofit commercial or?
They are profit.
They are profit?
They are profit. One thing that does, and this comes up to the state park, and it may come up again, they could also fall under a wholesale rate. We sell not on a wholesale rate, but we sell water to the state park, and the state park, being the state park, and then of course, having transients come in with their campers on beach and stuff, and then the state park has to employ somebody with at least a Class B water license to be able to purchase water from us and in turn send it out to their own customers within the park. So commercial, the way it goes now, but it'd be something that we look into as a wholesale rate.
We're sort of like in a contract that we do with real.
Sure, no, it could be, it's along the lines of, now also customers, the only one that we have right now is Emil Dairy Service. He's the only one that actually has a public water supply ID number and can hook up to our water system. We sell it to him and then he in turn sells it to somebody else, which is the same thing the state park's doing. But our wholesale rate is just a flat $25 per 1,000 gallons. We haven't gotten to that point with the
That's what
park.
Emil pays.
That's what it pays. When he does utilize it, he hasn't utilized it in years, but when he does.
Now, the state park, you pay a flat fee though for the water and everything that you're using there, come in, right?
Believe so, I don't really understand. Bill.
Per day usage fee.
Right.
Okay,
Program.
yeah, because I know that's what we did up in Fort Davis.
Okay, so it's gonna go on April 14th, June. All right. All right, any other questions by the board?
Is that a regular meeting?
April 14th will be the regular meeting, and it will be the next meeting. Sir,
Mayor, do we need to vote on the, those miles?
I said, I saw that's mine. When you said that.
all right. Now, getting ready to adjourn to executive session. Let me make a note that Mr. McClellan is not here. He has said he's on his way, and we will consult the attorney and wait until Mr. McClellan gets into the building to start executive session, but we need to go ahead and get ready for it now. And when we adjourn to executive session, it is in accordance with the authority contained in the Texas Government Code, sections 551, consultation with attorney, and 551072, deliberation regarding real property. I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
A second.
I second.
All in favor? Adjourn at 6:39.
So we're gonna sit here and wait till he
He's
gets
on.
in? No, but I mean, that's it.